Right, joining us now, Democratic Congressman Max Rose of New York. He's a veteran in the war in Afghanistan and is a recipient of the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. And he has just launched an exploratory bid to run for New York City mayor. Max, great to have you back on the show. Tell us why this is the direction you want to go in, and what are you finding out?
Well, thanks again for having me. Look, when you look at New York City, and I say this as a proud New Yorker, someone raising my family in New York City, somebody who's a fourth-generation New Yorker, COVID has completely decimated New York from a public health perspective as well as from an economic perspective. And we need someone who can lead us out of this crisis, someone who is willing to rip up the playbook and who is willing to risk it all, who does not care about the next election. But let's also not forget about what New York City, what the promise of New York City is. It's a place where underdogs make it. And that promise that no matter where you come from, what you look like, you can live your dream in New York City, that is something that previous to COVID was slipping through New York's fingers. And for many, it was long gone. That's what we have to rescue. And we'll do that with bold policies, with policies that can set the example, not just for America, but for the world. Things like a universal basic income for working New Yorkers, things like K through 14 for all, and most importantly, infrastructure projects that will end our commuting nightmare, things that have been killing outer borough New Yorkers who are commuting 3 hours a day. This is all possible in New York City if we have vision and leadership. So that's why I have launched this exploratory consideration for a mayoral bid. We've got to rescue our city, and then we've got to show the rest of the country and the rest of the world why New York City remains the greatest city in the history of the world.
All right, Jonathan Lemire, you've got the next question for Max Rose.
Hey, Max, as you know, whoever the next mayor of New York City is going to be is going to inherit an extraordinary number of challenges. The city's economy is really taking a beating here during the pandemic, and there's real questions raised about its future. We also have a very crowded field of potential mayoral candidates, some from within city government, some from without. How do you make your case? How do you make your case? There's certainly going to be a lot of voices to your left for this running for this job, and you are someone who is, represents largely associated with Staten Island, certainly the most conservative borough of New York City. How do you make the case that you are the right person for this job in a city that is growing deeper blue by the year?
Well, first of all, Jonathan, and it's good to see you. Let's not forget that during times of crisis, New York City does have a tendency to elect short mayors, whether it's LaGuardia or Bloomberg. So history is on my side here, my friend. But whoever you consider in this mayoral race, this cannot be about lanes. People are sick and tired of this type of politics where someone is saying, well, that's my lane. I'm going to slice and dice the electorate accordingly. What you have to do here, and what New Yorkers desperately want, is someone who's not playing games, someone who rises above the fray, and someone who is not going to play this insider game where they're going to talk about a tale of two cities and then proceed to just reward power brokers and reward insiders. I'm the guy that in a district that Donald Trump won twice by double digits, who impeached him. Yeah, I've risked everything to do what I think is right. That's what New York needs right now.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.